Tonight on Up to Speed with Tripp Simpson. Are the Democrats losing the court of public opinion over the Trump court case witch hunts? Also, middle school Prince George's County Prince George's County teacher is disciplined and possibly fired over incident where young ladies were braiding hair. Should he be fired? Or also, Minister Louis Farrakhan, in a recent speech, has stated he doesn't think that men should go 50-50 in marriage. All that and more on episode 60 of Up to Speed with Tripp Simpson.
I'd rather get it out the mud than get it for free. I'd rather settle it up front than run and retreat. I son these niggas just for fun, no need for caprice. And if you tell me that I'm done, you must think I'm deceased. With every breath I take, I'm taking it further. Fuck the word a couple times and deserter. Killing niggas off with every word, I'm talking first degree murder. Just sit back, relax, be the observer. See niggas really want me out of line, I'm seeing the signs. Every time I speak what's on my mind, I'm reaching divine. No, I need my mental realign, so I'm taking my time. But I can't let these people just define what they don't understand. I'm a real nigga, it's deep in my veins. And if you cut me open right now, you'd understand the reason I speak with the pain. I know a lot of people seek my defeat and it's strange, cause they gon' be the real reason I peak with the fame. All these opinions from people who never made it, I truly would rather speak with the greatest. I'm talking Drake, Cole, and Lil Wayne. Man, I know I ain't famous, but I'ma make them seek me out when they play this. The name is King Art, reppin' that Southeast. Niggas always doubt me, but I keep it real. Other niggas hella mouthy. Pillow talking niggas always saying shit about me. Every time we bring it up, the conversation get cloudy, so I learn to move different. I never ask for permission, only forgiveness from the people who would choose to listen. A lot of niggas turn they back, I guess they mood switching. I tried to hold it all in, but man, it's too tempting. Listen, we don't compare, I thought you knew different. I thought you knew better than this, I guess you fools slipping. See, jealousy gon' take control and have you tomb digging. And we gon' leave you in that bowl like the spoon missing.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Up to Speed with Tripp Simpson. I am your host, Tripp Simpson, in the building.
The first of his name, Lord of the Seven Kingdoms and Protector of the Realm.
That's right. And before we get this live stream started today, first and foremost, you know we got to handle business.
Family moving up in the business. I know you're going to look after family.
What family you talking about, Ice?
Fuck, I look invisible, nigga.
That's right. I am not invisible. So if you're watching this show live on YouTube, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you are watching this show live on Twitter, hit that like button, hit that retweet button. And if you're watching on Facebook and Rumble, hit that like button, hit that share button. No matter what platform you're watching on, don't forget to comment in the live chat below. Help us get this show off into the algorithm. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I got a very, very interesting show for you guys tonight. Got a couple of hot topics I want to discuss. Definitely want to discuss the middle school teacher who has been disciplined for letting the young ladies in his classroom take out his braids. Also want to talk some relationship talk. Recently, there's a clip floating around the internet where Minister Farrakhan is saying that he doesn't think men should go 50-50. But before we get into those topics, I want to first start off by talking a little Donnie T news. You know what I mean.
Look at my African American over here. Look at him. Are you the greatest? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Now, it appears as if the Democrats' cases against the Don are starting to crumble at every turn. Now, the weakest case, in my opinion, which is the alleged hush money trial, this is the weakest case in my opinion. And it's starting to go belly up. So much so that even Bill Maher, the notoriously staunch leftist, that's right, Bill Maher is starting to go against the narratives. On one of his latest episodes of his talk show, he highlighted the huge lies that the star witness for the prosecution, that would be Miss Stormy Daniels, has been telling. Now, she was on this show years ago, I think in like 2015, talking about her and Trump's alleged one-night stand, and it was entirely a different story than what she's saying currently in court. All right, so without wasting any more time, let's go ahead and take a look at that. 1 second. All right, here we go.
And then we're going to talk about the trial, because it's quite at variance of what she said to me in 2018. Why did you Donald Trump? Okay, but you say it's not a Me Too case.
It is not a Me Too case. I mean, I wasn't assaulted. I wasn't attacked or raped or coerced or blackmailed. They tried to shove me in the Me Too box to further their own agenda. And first of all, I didn't want any part of that because it's not the truth, and I'm not a victim in that regard.
That's not what she's saying now. She's talking about he was bigger and blocking the way. It's all the Me Too buzzwords. She said there was a power imbalance of power, for sure. My hands were shaking so hard. She said she blacked out. Blacked out? She's a porn star. I don't think sex...
That doesn't mean she's been subjected to the likes of Donald Trump. I might black out too.
Do you really think she blacked out? I mean, a porn star is used to having sex with people she does not know. That's the job. It's kind of like Stormy Bob Stormy. And
so there we have it. There we have it. The star witness's credibility is completely shot at this point, man. It's completely shot. And it's not just people like Bill Maher and these celebrity leftists that are starting to notice this crap. MSNBC, or what I like to call MSDNC, recently interviewed a few potential voters in Georgia, and that also completely backfired on the Democratic Party. Let's check that out. All right, 1 second. All right, here we go.
Do each of you support Donald Trump?
I do.
Yes. Yes for all three of you? Yes. Has this trial changed your opinion, even caused you to waver or question that at all?
No, it's actually caused me to support him more. I just don't believe there's a coincidence that we have a trial happening in Atlanta. We have one happening in New York. So the question people are beginning to ask themselves, like I did, is like, why now?
It's pretty much everybody says they're picking on him. You know, people are tired of going after him, and you see it in so many areas. It's really not a big issue in the party. Actually, they're really making everybody mad, and they look at a big bully, and the government is the bully.
This is going to be your first time casting a ballot. What is it for you that drives your support of the former president?
I think always fighting means taking so much just defense from news and everything, but he still hasn't given up. He keeps fighting to do what's right.
I've talked to many people who formerly identified as a Democrat. They have changed their political persuasion to independent, and they are looking forward to voting for Trump. Wow. Because now they find something in common with a political candidate at that level.
When you say they find commonality, what is that commonality?
They have felt persecuted by the system of American injustice. And it's not a stretch for them to think that Trump may be a victim as well. People see that there's some kind of commonality between himself and maybe all the black men that have been incarcerated and the families that have been impacted by black male incarceration.
So, I mean, boom. I mean, this whole narrative is breaking down every day. If it's not a landslide in 2024, then you already know that the fix is in. I mean, he's crushing Biden in all the polls in every swing state. And in historically red states, it's not even close. But you already know how we rocking over here.
Look at my African American over here. Look at him. Are you the greatest? You know
That's
what
right.
I'm talking about?
Trump 2024 to save America. Let's get it. Now, let's get to this next topic. So up next, I want to talk about this teacher in Prince George's County, Maryland, who was fired, or maybe about to be fired, or under investigation for inappropriate contact with students in his middle school class. Now, I believe the teacher's name is Mr. Marquise White, but he goes by the name of Jack Lee, Jaqlee, on TikTok. So for context, for those who haven't heard about this, Mr. White went live on TikTok with about 4 or 5 of his female students who were taking his braids out for him. All right, so real quick, what we're going to do is we're going to check out his post where he addressed the situation, and then we're going to get into the discussion. All right? All right, so second, let me get that up. All right, where we at? Oh, wait a minute. Damn it. All right, here we go. All right, bam, we got it. All right, check this out, people.
Let's go ahead and stir the pot a little, shall we? Last Friday, 10 minutes before dismissal time, I decided to live stream my students helping me take my hair out. There was quite the discourse in the chat, which had people saying this was inappropriate and other people saying this was completely fine. There was nothing wrong with what I was doing, and people were just making it weird. So of course I had to bring this issue to the big stage. I would like to represent myself in this case, Your Honor, if I may. Number one, for a little context, I had a hair appointment immediately after school, and I needed my hair taken out beforehand. I would have taken it out the night before, but that Friday we had a camera crew coming in to shoot a promotional video, and I was one of the ones being interviewed. So I had to look presentable, so I didn't take my hair out. I didn't have the time to do it all myself because it would have taken me forever. So naturally I asked about 4 or 5 of my over 100 best friends to assist me in taking my hair out, and they all agreed. Number 2, this was at the end of class. This week we were doing STEM fair presentations. Since it was Friday and all of my students did an excellent job on their STEM fair projects and presentations, I told them if we get one solid presentation in this class, I'll end class a little early and they can have fun and play basketball, darts, or be on their phones or whatever. And during that time, my team would help me take my hair out. A couple of these were...
All right, so let's stop it right there. So that's his explanation, right? His explanation is that he was about to get his hair done. He didn't have time the night before, so he asked his students to do it for him. Now, that's all well and good, even though I still disagree with that, right? Why did you have to take time out of your day to live stream this? That's what I don't get. What was the point of putting this on camera? That's why people are coming at you this way. Because your moves don't make any sense. All right, I'm gonna let him keep talking a little bit more. I'm not gonna play this whole video because it's like 5 minutes long. But we'll hear him out a little bit more and then we'll get into this.
Were students from my class, but others were students from other classes. I would always give them a pass at the beginning of the class period, requesting their assistance 10 minutes before dismissal. I told the teachers only send them if all of their work was completed and they had good behavior. They all met the criteria, so 10 minutes before dismissal, they showed up for their job. My next point I'd like to make is, if I was a female teacher, those people wouldn't be in the comments saying, oh, this is weird, this is inappropriate. Because me personally, I don't think there's anything weird about this. People are saying, oh, that's too intimate. To me, it's literally just hair. It doesn't have to be weird. Some people have never had cool teachers, and it shows. I personally believe that building authentic relationships with students is paramount in being an effective teacher.
Now, we're going to get to that point a little later, but I totally disagree with that. You're not there to build relationships with children. You're there to teach children a certain subject so that they are equipped with that knowledge for the remainder of their academic careers. You're not there to build authentic relationships. And I think that's the problem with a lot of these modern day public schools.
I make sure my students know and can feel that I care about them beyond the schoolwork and all the stuff that I have to make them do. I take the time to get to know my students outside of academics, because caring for the whole child is what's important. Some of these students have been with me since I was a substitute 4 years ago. They see me as a big brother or a father figure, as some of them say. And me, I don't want kids of my own, so all of these kids are literally my children. And in case you're wondering about their parents, most of them follow me on social media and always talk about my videos with their kids. They always tell me that they're so grateful that their kids have someone like me in their life.
All right, so let's get into this. So that was his explanation of what actually went on that day. And in my opinion, I would have just left it alone. Now, shortly after that, I believe he was reassigned and placed under investigation. But some reports are saying he was fired. Okay? Some reports are saying he's fired. Some are saying he's under investigation. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to look and see if I can find an article on this. Give me a second. See if I can. All right. I think I got one right here. All right. I've got an article on this. And here we go. Can y'all see that? All right. So I've got an article on this. Let's see what it says. It says Maryland teacher under investigation and reassigned out of classroom after video shows student unbraiding hair and painting his nails in class. Wow, he was getting his nails painted too?
I got that stuck in love.
Whew, man. I tell you, man. That's why my kids don't go to public school. But anyway, all right, so it says Prince George's County, Maryland. A Maryland teacher is getting a lot of attention and criticism after posting a video of his students unbraiding his hair in the classroom. As of Wednesday, the video has been nearly 7 million times on the teacher's TikTok page alone, and it's been reposted all over. Marquise White said he's a middle school science teacher. WUSA 9 confirmed with PG Schools. He is a teacher in the county. In the video, White said he asked for 4 to 5 of his students, who he calls besties, for help. He said he only picked students that were finished with schoolwork, and it all happened during the last 10 minutes of class. In another video, White said he also lets his students paint his nails.
I got that stuff
Pause.
in love.
Okay. The student you see in the video has goals and aspirations to be a nail tech. Her mom watches my videos all the time. Not only does she love it, but she signed a media release form for her daughter, White explained. The videos generated a lot of talk with more than 20,000 comments. Some support White, saying he's more of a father than most, and others are critical of the videos, saying this is too close and personal. Countless blogs and headlines are claiming White had been fired following the video, which is false. Okay, so we know he hasn't been fired, but he's under investigation. All right, so WUSA 9 reads the code of conduct, and while it doesn't say anything about braiding hair or painting nails, it does say staff must respect personal boundaries by maintaining proper space and demonstrate appropriate behaviors. It also says staff shouldn't record students' faces and voices unless when teaching a performance arts class or career technology. Okay, so that's definitely where he went wrong right there. So he's definitely in violation of the rules. No buts about it. WUS 9 has been in contact with White, who said he's not ready to speak publicly yet. All right. See what else we got on this. Make sure we ain't got no conflicting reports. So this article is saying from WUSA 9 that he has not been fired. All right. All right, I got another one here. Let's check this out. All right, it says TikTok teacher in tears after getting fired for filming students unbraiding his hair. Now this one's saying he got fired. All right. I'm not seeing where it says he's been fired on this article. But, all right, let's check this out. Okay, it says, I can see why they fired Jack Lee. There are so many videos that as a teacher, he shouldn't have been posting. Okay, hold on. Let me check this out. All right, says he's made other inappropriate posts. All right, let's check this out. Check out the other alleged inappropriate post. All right, what's this?
Well, hello there. Hello. You. Hello there.
All right, says, so when you catch a student's mom looking like a snack during carpool. I wouldn't say this makes him look like a predator. A little weird, but he definitely shouldn't be saying stuff like this in the classroom. I mean, it's a joke, but I just think these teachers be doing too much, and they're putting themselves in this position. Let's see the next video.
As far as being a man that embodies characteristics that are traditionally associated with women, I have no shame in owning up to that. None at all. So just being
all right, so this looks like a clip from so he has a podcast too. Okay. Looks like a clip from a podcast.
Well manicured man. It's okay to take care of yourself. We have these ideologies or characteristics that are associated with traditional masculinity. So like things like this, certain people see me out in public, and I'm pretty sure, because I've been rocking this for a few days, people probably look at me like, what the hell is this little sweet boy doing with these little girly puffballs?
Girly puffballs?
I got that thug in love.
Man, get y'all kids out of public school, man. I mean, so far, I haven't seen anything that will warrant him being fired, but he's definitely a weirdo.
Hairstyles are now restricted to gender. It's okay to go get a manicure. Women, pay attention to your nails. So if they're super long, you got dirt underneath them, your cuticles looking all crazy, right? Some men probably don't know what a cuticle is. Shit, I didn't know what a cuticle was until I learned. But think about it. If you're trying to get with a woman, right? She has very sensitive areas. If you catch my drift, right? Very sensitive areas. You think that she's gonna want you to fondle down there if you got freaking Dracula nails?
Still nothing illegal, but it is making him look like some type of weirdo creep.
With last month's lasagna underneath inside of your the cracks of your nails. Is he saying wash your ass? Bro, I shit you not. It was last year. I was having a conversation with my sister. She was in a group chat with her friends. I ain't going to throw anybody under the bus, but if you know my sister and know who she be hanging around, just take a wild freaking guess. But they were having a discussion in a group chat where they talked about like washing your ass. So they asked the fellas in the group chat, like, yo, do you like get up in there? I'm not talking about like in your anal cavity, but like, do you get up in the crevice? Do you get up in your crack?
All right, that's enough of that. That's enough of that. That is enough of that. Whew, man, this Joker, he's a wild guy. He's definitely a wild guy. Let's keep my music going. So here's my take on this. Here's my take on this so far. Do I think what he did is inappropriate? Yes. According to official Prince George's County Public Schools guidelines, he broke the rules. He definitely broke the rules. You're not supposed to have kids on camera. He had them on camera and video. I mean, he broke the rules. However, I don't think what he did warrants any crazy disciplinary actions. From his demeanor, I don't feel like he had any malicious intent behind what he was doing. And I don't think he's any more guilty than the other weirdo TikTok teachers who do ridiculous things for attention on social media. And while we're at it, I've highlighted several of them on this show. So should he be fired? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. He should not be fired. Definitely inappropriate, but I don't think it warrants being fired. Maybe a little slap on the wrist or a written reprimand or something. But firing this man who has a clear passion for what he's doing, I think is the wrong route. I think they could take a more corrective route to get him on the right track. But firing him outright for this, I don't think so. Now, the real problem here is the public school system. The real problem here is the public school system and the parents by way of our culture. See, the fact that the teachers, and I'm only saying this because I've heard this gentleman and many other people give the excuse that this is the only way to relate to the students. So the fact that the teachers feel that the kids are this lost and unable to meet or learn in any other fashion, so they have to go out and be extra like this, I think is absurd. And that's what really needs to be talked about. The name of this school, I believe, is called Maya Angelou French Immersion School. Now, Maya Angelou French Immersion School is not a good school. It is not a good school. The only thing these kids are over 50% at grade level in is English. Every other subject is below the bar. So no matter how much relating you people think you're doing to these kids, ultimately it's not turning out any positive results. Educationally speaking. Now, teachers don't need to be friends with students. But let's do this. Because I want to make sure that I get this point across to you. Let's pull up the stats on this particular school. Let's pull up the stats. All right, let me get myself off of here. All right, so we got the stats up on this particular school. Now this up here says 7 out of 10, right? Test score, 7 out of 10. Student progress, 7 out of 10. This actually means absolutely nothing. Let's get to the real statistics. All right, here's what I want to highlight here. And notice it still says 7 out of 10, right? But it says test scores. Test scores at this school are above the state average because test scores in some states are so low, some students at this school may still not be performing at grade level. So as you can see, the state average is 47%, right? The state average is 47%. And 67% of the students in this school are better than, so 67% of the students in school are reading at grade level, all right? And that's about 20% better than the state average. Now we can go by grade, and as you can see by grade 3, 48%, grade 4, 49%, so it's pretty stagnant all the way to grade 7. All right, science. At science, they are below grade point average. Only 30% of the kids in this middle school are at grade level in science. 5th grade, 28%. Grade 8, 31%. Pretty bad. Now, let's look at math. This is the killer right here. Grade 3, 58% of the students are above grade level. Grade 4, 26%. Grade 5, 15%. Grade 6, 10%. Grade 7, 6%. Grade 8, less than 5%. This is ridiculous, people. This is ridiculous. This is piss poor. So there we have it. This school is only proficient in one subject. And the only reason this school has such a high ranking in that subject is the fact that they are so well below grade level in most subjects. And that the kids in the state, are so far below grade level. That's the only reason that they have a good ranking. Pretty much the bar is, okay, we're not doing as bad as the rest of the state. That's the bar. That's the bar. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how many times I need to preach this to you. Get your kids out of public school. Now, I can't speak for all private schools, but I can honestly say that most private schools, and by private, I mean schools that you have to pay for, the numbers are light years beyond this. And I understand everybody can't afford private school, and I get it. That's why there's also homeschool. And in some cases, there are groups of parents who work together to homeschool their kids in a group. And just like private school, those kids are light years beyond the public school system. Perfect example, I got a little cousin that's been homeschooled her whole life. By the time she was 11 years old, she was building rockets in Poland and being honored at the White House. No lie. She went to college at 16 and crushed it. Public schools, at least in the inner city and majority black jurisdictions, ain't doing none of that on a regular basis. But y'all get the point. Y'all get the point. No need to beat a dead horse here. Let's get on to the next topic. All right, what we got here? What we got? All right. So this last topic is going to be about Minister Farrakhan, and it's about this Minister Farrakhan clip that I saw floating around my Instagram over the past couple of days. And don't get me wrong, people. Don't get me wrong. I have no real issue or dislike for the minister. I just think he's a little, or maybe even a lot, outdated on a lot of issues that he gives his opinion on. Now, in this particular clip, Minister Farrakhan is speaking on marriages and people going 50-50, and he's saying he's against it. Now, you all know my stance on marriages. If you're going to do it 50-50 or 60-40 at best. All that sole provider stuff is old news in the new world. Modern women have completely obliterated any sound logic or reason for any man to sign up for that in today's times. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and take a look at this clip, and then I'll give my 2 cents on it afterwards. All right, so let's get Mr. Farrakhan up here. All right, hold on, people. All right, so here we go.
In this world, like working women, because you don't want to work. Well, you know, it takes 2 of us. Oh, shut up. Damn it, the only reason it takes 2 is because you want to live beyond your means. Some of you know your woman is pregnant and you push her out. You got to go to work, girl. Well, what the hell are you for? Your job, after you make her pregnant, is to work your behind off so she can rear your child.
Real quick, I see we got a couple of visitors here. We got Tyler the N and the Keyhole Saw Guy. Guys, give me 10 minutes. I'm going to give my opinion on this video, and I'll let you guys in the conversation. Got you. All right, is that the end of this clip? Let's see. Nah, it's a little bit more.
Well, today's economics doesn't allow that. Wrong. If you want to work for McDonald's, that won't allow it. But if you want to use your creative juices to create something that will bring money into your house, it is unlimited what you can do. And I'm not talking about selling drugs or pimping.
All right. Like I said, we got 2 guys in the back room. We got Tyler the real ass in, and we got the Keyhole Saw Guy. I'm going to let you guys in as soon as I finish giving my opinion on this, and we can get into this discussion. All right, so the first issue I have with this clip is that he states that the only reason why men want a 50-50 marriage is so they can live beyond their means. Now, nothing could be further from the truth. If anything, I think it's quite clear that women are the undisputed champions of living above their means. Now, let's really delve deep into this statement. All right, now, first off, The minister is in the top 1 to 3% of earners in the entire country. Farrakhan has an estimated net worth of $5 to $8 million. Now, everyone was out here making that type of money, and the cost of living stayed the exact same as it is now, then he'd have a valid point. But most people don't make anywhere near that type of money. The average black man in America earns $45,000 a year, while the average black woman earns about $37,000 a year. And white folks aren't doing that much better. They're not. The average white woman is about $45,000 a year, and the average white man is about $56,000, $57,000 a year. So on average, virtually nobody is making enough money, black or white, to afford to be a sole provider. Now, let's look at the cost of living in Washington, D.C. real quick. Washington, D.C. is 47% higher than the national average. Housing is 140% pricier than the U.S. average. Let me put this in plain terms for you. A $500,000 house, especially with these high interest rates, is going to cost you about $3,200 to $3,500 a month in mortgage fees. And that's after you come with $20,000 for the down payment and the closing fees. But get this. You know what $500,000 in DC will get you? Here's what $500,000 in DC will get you. It'll get you an old, outdated house in the middle of a war zone without a decent grocery store, a good school, or a safe gas station in sight. Basically, you're in the ghetto for $500,000 in DC. Even if we're talking rent, you as a sole provider is paying shit. Let me think. Shit, before I bought my house, right? I was paying $3,400 a month for a 3-bedroom apartment, and that was back in 2020. It's probably about 36, 37 for something decent right now. And by decent, I mean you're still kind of in the hood. It's just gentrified to the point where you don't realize you're in the hood. You don't realize you're in the hood until about 7, 8:30 at night. But Mr. Farrakhan will have you believe that this is the proper way to raise your family in 2024 on an average person's salary. Then he speaks as if high-paying jobs are just readily available to the public. Now, while I do agree with his sentiment, the implementation is where the problem lies. Again, using DC as an example, if you make $100,000 a year, that's barely enough to take care of yourself. But for a family of 4, you would need to earn an estimated $275,000 a year just to live comfortable in DC. And the median salary in DC is $70,000. Matter of fact, I got an article for you, and then we're going to get to the callers. Let me pull up this article real quick. Let me look at some of these chats first. Let me see. All right, yeah, I got you. I'm gonna let y'all both in at the same time, man. Ain't no thing. I got you, bro. Ain't no thing. We're gonna get to this article and we're gonna wrap this up. All right, let me get this shit off the screen. All right. Not even gonna read this whole thing. I'm just gonna get to the point that's important here. Here's the point that's important here. Let's look at what you would need for a family of 4 to live comfortably, not above your means, but comfortably in the top 20 most expensive U.S. cities. Now, why is this relevant? Because for the most part, black people have a large population in a lot of these cities. San Francisco, 339,000. Boston, 319,000. Arlington, Virginia, 318,000. New York City, 318,000. Oakland City, 316,000. San Diego, 289. Newark, New Jersey. As ghetto as Newark is, you need $285,000 a year to live comfortably with a family of 4. Long Beach, California, where Snoop Dogg is from, 280. Los Angeles, 276. And of course, DC, 275. Now, how on earth, after taking all those things I've mentioned into consideration, could anyone in their right mind sit up and blame this on black men just wanting to be lazy and live beyond our means? I'm not saying Farrakhan's a dummy. I'm just saying he's ignorant to how the new world actually works. His judgment is slightly skewed because he's been a rich and powerful man for quite some time. Now, who's to actually blame for this? I blame white liberals, and I also blame the feminist movement. Prior to the push for women to enter the workforce, there was way less competition for higher paying jobs. Instead of having to compete with white men and a few immigrant men for jobs, now we have to compete with white men, a shit ton of immigrant men, white women, black women, and a shit ton of immigrant women. Now, in addition to the job market being flooded, this push for women in the workforce also dealt two more major blows to American society. This shit forced mothers away from their natural roles as nurturers, from their natural role as primary caregivers. They basically were forced to abandon their children. And because of this, we see a major ideological, cultural, and behavioral shift in the minds of America's youth. Nobody's parents have the time to pay them any attention because they're both working too goddamn hard. And the other blow was the cost of living. With now both men and women working, the cost for goods, transportation, and shelter are now rising faster than ever before. And ultimately, so did the taxes being collected. So, for the average man being the sole provider, I mean, in addition to all that shit I just said, it's extremely dangerous. It's extremely dangerous. It's dangerous for your well-being, and it's dangerous for your pockets. Let's just say you can pull off paying all the bills on an $80,000 to $100,000 a year salary. And let's just say you happen to be lucky enough to buy a decent home. Odds are she's going to get bored. She's going to start not feeling loved anymore because you spend all your time at work and she spends her time on Instagram and watching The View. Next thing you know, her happiness will come first and your economic survival will come last. Thanks to no-fault divorce in the egregious family court laws that surfaced around the Reagan era, she gets the house, she gets the kids, she gets the car, she gets alimony, and she gets child support. And all you get is the judge's ass to kiss after you spent years trying to build a so-called legacy. It's not worth it, gentlemen. The worst thing a man can do in any relationship he has with a woman, regardless whether it's marriage, friendship, or boyfriend-girlfriend, never give up your leverage. Once you do that, you're subject to her overly emotional and oftentimes irrational decisions. But I don't know it all. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to bring our guest in.
Hey, yo, what up, man?
What up? Let me fix the audio real quick. Okay, all right, I got the echo cancellation on. What up?
It's me, Red.
That's what's up. And who else we got here? We got
Keyhole Saw.
Saw guy. That's a bet. Now, do you have a show on YouTube as well?
YouTube. I checked out your channel a few times. I think it's pretty cool. Yeah. Them prices are getting crazy now.
For sure. All right, so what did you guys think of what we talking about here?
What?
nigger.
What? I don't know what's going on there. I don't know what's going on there, bro. I don't know what the hell just happened there. But anyways, what we're going to do is we're going to go to a quick commercial break. If anybody else wants to hit that link and call in. I don't know what just happened with these two guys. But anyways, we'll be back right after this commercial break.
Welcome to McDonald's. May I help you?
What's up, Jake? What up? Where's Calvin? At the J.O.B., man. What? He's still flipping those burgers at Mickey D's? Here's your order.
Thanks, Calvin.
He's not tired of that yet. Could be kicking it with us, man. Having big fun. He says he has a plan, man. Meet the newest member of our management team, Calvin.
Congratulations.
Calvin. Management team. Cool. Yep, I'm part of the management team now, mama.
Oh, baby, I'm so proud of you.
Don't rip my boy too hard now. Yeah, you're right, because he does wear some fresh clothes. Yo, Calvin, welcome to the hood. May we help you? So, nothing much. Well, I'm out. Hey, yo, Calvin. Man, what's the word on that job thing? Oh, man, you know, not for me. For a friend of mine.
Violent crime is surging in Louisiana. Woke leaders blame the police. I blame the criminals. A mom should not have to look over her shoulder when she's pumping gas. I voted against the early release of violent criminals, and I opposed defunding the police. Look, if you hate cops just because they're cops, the next time you get in trouble, call a crackhead. I'm John Kennedy, and I approve this message.
It doesn't matter what comes, fresh goes better in life. With Mentos fresh and full of life. Nothing gets to you, staying fresh, staying cool. With Mentos fresh and full of life. Fresh goes better, Mentos fresh. Fresh goes better with Mentos fresh and full of life.
Mentos, the fresh maker.
All right, we got Major Keyz in the building. Shout out to him. What's cracking, Holmes?
Not too much, man. I seen your last little bit of what you was talking about. I missed you talk about the teacher. You know, that's really what I wanted to call it about. But I caught the end of it when you was talking about the schools and grades and needing to go to private school and all that good stuff, which I agree with 100%. But
I will say this, just because I definitely want you to give your opinion on it. Now, of course, I'll give you a quick, brief synopsis of what I said. Basically, all I was saying was I did think what he did was kind of appropriate. I read an article and I read what the PG County schools had to say about it. It definitely was against the rules. Not necessarily the hair braiding, but the having children on camera part.
Yeah.
I thought it was inappropriate, but I don't think it warrants him to get fired. I think it was a correctable mistake that I don't think he needs to pay the price of his job for. And I don't think that just looking at his page, does have some weird stuff on there, but I don't get malicious intent from him. I just feel like he's a young guy who really doesn't know what is necessarily proper to post on the internet, especially when you're at school and promoting the fact that you're a teacher in most of your posts.
yeah, and I 100% agree with all of that. So, so also, like, I wasn't even about to call in, to argue with you, because you probably think I was, because on Facebook we have discussed it already and we came from two different sides of it. But I also know you didn't seem as informed of it on it, number one, and I didn't necessarily think it was appropriate either. I just think it also is being over reacted to, and his consequences, and just in the media and the way people are seeing it on social media and all of that too.
They're definitely overreacting. I've showed teachers, I have this one show I did where I showed a video of this teacher singing, I think it was a Glorilla or something song, with all the students around here dancing and she cussing and stuff, and this is what she does. She's always on TikTok showing off she got a nice booty. So she's always on TikTok showing it off in the classroom. I'm like, this is crazy. So to try to say he should be fired, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, so when people just see the picture, like I first only really saw the picture, and I even thought it was like off break. I thought it was inappropriate. I didn't think he would get fired either, but I just thought, that it wasn't appropriate for the setting and to be on camera too, and all of that. I was like, he's also stupid for just recording it in the first place. But
he went live and did the shit.
yeah, like I was like that was foolish. But beyond those points and beyond that, it was more so the explanation that he gave. Like he explained his relationship with their parents. He explained that he discussed it with them. He explained why he wasn't doing it himself. He explained why he chose those students to do it. He explained, all of those steps and everything in that video. The problem is everybody's trying to be too comfortable inviting the world into their classrooms and stuff to show what school is like. And that is very much necessary because there's so many people complaining about the kids and complaining about youth and complaining about the schools and all of that. That like, if y'all gonna complain so much, you really got to see what it is that you're sending your kids to, because people really don't know. And you just gave that whole explanation about the public school system and how trash it is, and it's absolutely fact. It really is, like, honestly, genuinely. And like if you know the root of the school system is really just here in place to make workers anyway. And so by the fourth grade with the school to prison pipeline, they via these standardized tests, they're making beds for prison and they're in corporate America. So you have that dynamic basically to see who's equipped for the workforce and who's going to go work for free because we about to make them slaves. And that's what this whole system is doing. And then you have prep school, and prep schools are actually teaching these kids how to go prepare to run you all. That's who's teaching the managers, who's coaching the managers and training them as CEOs and all of that good stuff. And so then you got private, and that falls anywhere in between based on what that private school is put in place to do. But yeah, I want to create a boarding school, bro. That's what I'm trying to figure out how to do to get these kids that are in this situation right here out of it so that they can go learn and focus without having to watch their back all day. And then also train them on what's really going on out here, all the shit that you be talking about on the podcast and all the things that we know that's really going on versus what the school system is teaching them, because it's doing the exact opposite. Most of us are learning the wrong thing and then using our 20s, if we know better, to retrain our brains on what's going on so that we can get out here by our 30s and actually be doing,
You know what's even worse, in my opinion, though? I mean, because I'll give you an example of GW University. I work close to the GW University, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've been working around there for almost 20 years, right? I've noticed a very, very distinct societal change at the university. When I first was in the area all the time, you had regular kids there. You had your preppy white boys who thought they was the shit and the jocks on campus. You know what I mean? You had your nerds. You know what I mean? You had your mean girl crew. You know what I mean? You had your typical college shit, right? Normal shit. Now it's all weirdos, bro. It's all weirdos. All of the dudes on campus are, well, I'm not going to publicly state that. I'm just going to say it's not nowhere I would want to send my kid. I'm not paying $60,000 a year for that.
I also think social standards have changed, that everything is online, on the internet, and that's what it's about to continue to go shift to. So we complaining about it because it's weird, and I hope it really doesn't end up going this way. Honestly, like I hope there's some type of reverse where people realize like too much technology can be a bad thing, and we really need to just like be out in the world and exist and stuff. But like, based on the trajectory of what we're watching right now, is not that. So we got to also live in reality. And based on the trajectory of what we see, it's like, it's only going to get weirder. And that's what you're going to start seeing. So,
I mean, what I noticed.
Maybe that could also be a thing of there's only a certain people even wasting their time going to college now because they realize like, I don't got to pay for school if I know how to go and learn what's really going on my own. YouTube University.
I think the majority of things you can go to college for are a waste.
Exactly.
What I notice about this generation of kids coming up now is from all the way from elementary school, no matter who you are, what your background is, they give you a prototype and they give you a lane you can pick to figure out which kind of victim of society you're going to be. Because it's the easiest way out. Even if you are a white kid from a rich family, okay, you can be, okay, well, I'm a they. So I'm a victim now and I'm oppressed. Give me what I deserve. I'm oppressed. Like everybody gets to pick a lane of oppression. And that's what I see on these college campuses in full force, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so retarded, right? I'll give you an example. The GW security guards, or they call them GW police, right? About 2 years ago, the GW board passed a rule stating that the GW police officers can carry guns, right? Which I think is a great idea. Okay, because right now, because currently these guys had police uniforms on and police vests with no guns, meaning if somebody really did come to do harm, they're getting shot first and they don't even have a gun to protect themselves, right?
Yeah.
But the students protest against it. You know why? Because they said the black and brown students and the black and brown people in the community wouldn't feel safe with the police having guns. Bruh, do you know that the GW police staff is 99.9% black? Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy, man. But that's the type of shit that's going on there. Like, it's just everything's a protest. Everybody's a victim, you know?
Yeah. Can't even argue with it.
How'd you feel about the Farrakhan take?
I was actually saying it's not even like that was a new clip of Farrakhan. It was just a clip of Farrakhan circulating right now. You saw how young he looked in that clip. That was probably at least a decade ago, probably more for real. And granted, even then, it probably didn't really still like wasn't reality, but it was still more reality then than it is now. And so I'm not sure that he would even shift his stance technically, but people going to use, the internet for what they use it for. So that doing back circulating now because the 50-50 conversation back strong again like it always is.
For sure. And I saw it on, Willie D. I got it off of Willie D's page.
And so, yeah, all them joints get cycled around because all them people are just radio and internet hosts that's going to continue to, cycle the conversation that they know is going to gain traction when they starting to lose traction. And so, I mean, yeah, I mean, we already know. I agree. I would say that my argument would be that it's possible still to like seven-figure income. I mean, seven streams of income. So you could still figure it out, but it will be through like family businesses and things like that, where you still giving your wife a position in the business to where she's still making a revenue stream to where y'all are both able to like pay bills and cover shit and all of that. So. Yeah, you just gotta learn how to figure it out because it ain't about just getting a job and hoping you get a job that's going to pay $275,000. Nah, it's about figuring out how to make yourself worth $275,000 for your family.
I mean, right. I mean, but doing it by yourself is insane. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
And I make good money, but I'm not trying to do this shit by myself. Then when it go wrong, she go to court. Well, Your Honor, I'm accustomed to this.
But then you act like your only stream of income is your job.
Right, but at the same time, I do realize that
you got to recognize that you're going to argue it from the perspective. You need to also give those type of perspectives to it. How, she also is bringing in money and has a revenue too. But it's like there's family businesses, there's other investments and things like that are also bringing in money for you.
For sure. And I mean, I talk about that, but what I try not to do is get caught up in my point of view and in my life because
it's relevant because you got to give examples so people know what to strive to, because you shouldn't let people just settle for working one job or even getting the idea of that.
I shouldn't, but to keep this in realness, right? I mean, most people are not going to be business owners. Most people
allowing people to be victims too.
I mean, I don't even think a working man should be a victim. Like, we need, like...
That's my point.
we need
So
people
let's
to
not sit here and say, oh yeah, you just can't get that $275,000 job, so now y'all need to be working together. No, let's talk about how that nigga could be worth $275,000, and it ain't just about entrepreneurship.
And that's fine and well, but what I'm saying is the reality of that is only 1% of the people who try to figure it out are going to figure it out, because that's the percentage of, excuse me, 275 is like top 5%. But you get my drift.
You selling people short. That's all.
I'm not
Give them the information and then
sure.
let them do it themselves. Let them figure it out themselves.
I hear you on that, but what's going to matter more is how the general public operates. That's what's going to matter more at the end of the day. You know what I mean? We can't be telling people, man, you're a bum for going 50-50 with your wife. No, you're not. You're not a bum. You're smart.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that either. That's not where I'm going with it for perspective. I'm just also saying it's not as black and white as we try and make it. And you typically give a gray area, but you ain't give the gray area this time. I'm just telling you what the gray area was, nigga. Do better.
I mean, when you say gray area, you're talking about the
You're saying we simply need both
there is
man
no
and woman to work.
5% and 95%, bro. Like,
listen to what I'm saying, because you're telling me what I'm saying, and that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you're simply conflating it to we need the man and the woman to work. Yes, we do. But we're also looking at the statistics, and you need at least 275,000 to be maintain a 4-family household, right? Family of 4.
Mm-hmm.
So realistically, even as 2 of them working, they might not hit 275,000. So we only talked about you can, as one man, find a job worth 275,000. Only 1% of people will be able to do that. Okay, cool. You as one man can't do that, but you as one man can find $100,000 job, or even an $80,000 job, and you can also learn how to throw some bread in the stock market here and there, and you can also learn how to get a little family business over here, and you can also learn how to put your girl on the family business and set her up as a job for something that she's good at doing, so that the family business grows. And now y'all have ways of getting up to $275,000. And she might not have to go work for the white man all day. She can actually just be working for y'all's family business all day and spending her time helping raise the kids, even more time with them versus sending them to this public school that's treating them like shit.
I mean, I hear what you're saying. Real quick, Guns and Cafe had a question. He says, where do you need 275,000 to have a one-person household? Washington, D.C.
We didn't say one either. It said family of 4.
Yeah, for family of 4. Well, no, he corrected. He said, where do you need 275 to have a 4-person household? He corrected it.
Oh, yeah, it said Washington, D.C. He put that statistic up earlier.
Yeah, I read a whole article. I gave you the top 20 cities where you need.
Yeah, Washington, D.C. was actually 20, and I think it was
we us in Washington, D.C., we're in last place, bro.
Yeah,
we're in last place.
It wasn't even. It was last place on that list, and it was the top 20. And so we're 20th, and 20th it was 273,000. So all them other places were even more than that. For the record, they was up to like 300K something. So
but I'll tell you this: I know people who make that type of money, and they're still not going. They're not playing that sole provider game. You can't do that shit these days. You want to get your ass tore up in court.
I know people who make that type of money and want to play that sole type game and could and do, but the wife just won't work.
Yeah, that's a good thing. That's always a good thing.
So,
I mean, in the ideal world, if everything didn't cost so much damn money, then yeah, stay home and work. Like both my sets of my grandparents did that. My grandmothers didn't work unless they wanted to. Like, say my grandmother wanted to buy a brand new fancy couch or something, she'll get a job at Toys R Us for a few months, buy the couch, then quit. You know what I mean? But it don't work like that these days.
Yeah, well, I'm all about trying to tell what we can do, not tell what niggas can't do. So while we sitting here telling them, yeah, let's all work together, the whole family need to be working, I agree with that. But let's talk about how they can be at least trying to get that 275K, because that shit is out here and it's doable. And I watch niggas do it every day. That just be regular niggas.
It's certainly out here and it's certainly doable. But at the same time, yes, for the people who have the passion and the drive to do something like that and get it done, you know, come talk to me. I can give you a few pointers, but like for just, I guess what I was addressing was the general public because that's who Farrakhan was addressing. You know what I mean? And I just want to say, if you're an average Joe and you like your little regular job, man, don't listen to this man. You're gonna ruin your life trying to do that shit.
Give the general public hope, Tripp Simpson.
Man, hope is dope, bro.
They keep coming back.
Obama
you monetized, ain't you?
Obama gave him hope, and you see how that
monetized. Anybody can be monetized. Give the general public hope, Tripp Simpson.
You got a point. Yeah, we got one more question. Does that include paying for $1,600 on car payments, $50,000 on credit cards and student loans? Exactly. I didn't even think about that. A lot of these people with these high-paying jobs, 100, 150, 120, they got student loans.
Crazy.
But I ain't paying those. I mean, let me stop. I ain't gonna act like I ain't got at least one high payment, but still, I wouldn't advise it.
I called in to mention something, and we grazed over. I never even got to talk about it. What was up with your two callers just now? They was weird.
I think it was. I don't know, bro. Maybe they was pranking. I don't know.
It was definitely a prank. It was acting trippy. That was crazy.
I'm like, okay.
I had to come in and try, give you at least one call that was real, had something to talk about right quick. Stupid.
I mean, honestly, if it wasn't no callers, I would have just shut the show down. No.
I know. But yeah.
I'll give you the last word though, man. What you got?
I ain't got nothing. Support the schools, show up, do better, stop judging people. Everybody out here needs a friend.
And on that note, let's take him to church.
Popping up the grease and I'm peppermint. Money back, she don't know how to act, Asian, white, Latino, and black, She's only one thing to do on this track. Money back, she don't know how to act, Asian, white, Latino, and black, It's only one thing to do on this track.